Hey guys, welcome back to more political chatter. Today we will be talking about this stunning new poll nationwide for the 2028 Democratic primary from Yale University, where they show Kamala Harris leading the pack as always with 28%, just an awful showing for the former vice president. But more stunning than that is the number that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez puts up, the representative from New York, where she sits just 7% behind the former VP, behind Kamala Harris. She rakes in at 21% of the vote, just an absolutely stunning showing for someone who is still not respected by traditional, political media outlets, by traditional Democratic politicians, by traditional Democratic Party donors, and she is putting up record numbers for someone of her age, for someone, of her ethnicity as a woman, as a Latino woman at that. So to see someone like AOC at 21% really says a lot about the state of the party right now and how Democrats want change. They don't want to, continue down the path of people like Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries who do nothing and just let this Trump agenda roll on. No, they see AOC touring the nation, right, with Bernie Sanders, the Stop Oligarchy tour, visiting red states, visiting blue states, visiting rural areas, visiting cities, and they say, I like that type of fight. And that's a trend that we see, not with just AOC, but even the candidates that are currently falling. We covered a poll yesterday on the primary. AOC, just like in this poll, is crashing. Sorry, not AOC. Kamala Harris is crashing dramatically in her polling numbers. Why? Because she is not doing anything. Now, it doesn't even look like Kamala Harris will want to run for president in 2028, so that's good for leftists and AOC fans. But, even if she was planning on running, she is not doing anything. She's not touring the nation like AOC and Bernie are, or Tim Walz is, or, Jon Stewart, right, with his Daily Show, very publicized. He got a good poll, 3% the other day. Kamala Harris and a lot of these other Democrats, it appears to, Democrats across the nation who want to fight back against this Trump agenda, it appears to them that their biggest leaders like Harris, like Jeffries and Schumer are simply not doing enough. So we will continue to see Kamala Harris fall, I believe, and continue to see AOC rise. And it is not just this poll. This is by far Alexandria Ocasio Cortez's best poll by far. I don't even has Wikipedia put it up. No, they haven't yet. But you can see she has been putting up impressive numbers. More recently, clocking in at second place, almost consistently. There was a poll yesterday that had her in it. Yeah, it had to be in second. No, Cory Booker was in second. Yeah, 11%. Second or third, I should say. As you can see, she got 7% in the last poll before this Yale one, 8% to Harris's 25%, 5% in Morning Consult. Over Cory Booker, 7%, 7%. So it is this theme that we are seeing, and it really does surprise me how people are treating the idea of an AOC run, because honestly, she is not someone that really comes to mind when you think of 2024 candidates. People aren't, these political pundits, they are not talking about it at all, even though it is very possible. I mean, it does not feel, based off the way people are talking about this 2028 primary, it does not feel like AOC should be in second place, getting a fifth of the vote, 7 points behind the former vice president, over Pete Buttigieg, over Gavin Newsom, over Josh Shapiro, and all the others. But it is, in fact, true, according to this new Yale University poll. So that will be something to watch heading into the 2028 race. It's simple. Does AOC run for president, or does she run in 2028 for Chuck Schumer's seat? Does she try to primary Chuck Schumer in 2028? What is more likely? I don't know. I think primarying Chuck Schumer. But if she continues to put up numbers like this, she will be basically forced into running. People across the nation need her to run. I think with that, once she sees the outpouring of support, I mean, she already knows the outpouring of support she would have if she were to run for president. But once the election actually approaches and people start telling their stories, what they want her to do at these town halls, at these speeches and all that, I think essentially she will be, in essence, forced to run by the Democratic Socialists of America. So, it is just immaculate that someone like AOC could clock in at 7 points behind Harris. And not only that, look at their favorability numbers. This is among Democrats. Do you view these figures as favorable or unfavorable? AOC, every traditional pundit, every traditional whatever, big money donor, billionaire, millionaire, has told you, oh, AOC is a socialist. She can't win. The Democratic Party would never vote for her. If Bernie lost, AOC would lose since she's even more socialist. But look, among all these Democrats, the most moderate names in there, like Mark Kelly or Pete Buttigieg, Mark Cuban, Ruben Gallego, Josh Shapiro, the most moderate names you'll find. Who is the most popular in the Democratic Party? Who energizes the most people in the Democratic Party? Who is most well liked within the Democratic Party? It is AOC. 62% more favorable than unfavorable. That is more than the former Vice President of the United States, Harris, who's in second, Pete at 50, Whitmer at plus 38, Mark Kelly at plus 35, and the list goes on. Only two are underwater. Stephen A. Smith, that's what we like to see. Big Stephen A. Smith hater here. He is a Republican who acts like a Democrat. And then John Fetterman. We also love to see that. But everything you have been told about AOC is a lie. And this is why I don't fall. I don't really buy it, I should say, that AOC is an automatic loss in the general election. I think that if you are a leftist, if you are a democratic socialist, if you are progressive, I think it would by far and away be worth it to try to run AOC, because I think that um I think that there is a great chance that she wins the election, and if she does, it would be worth it in the long run. It would be worth taking that risk because of the greatness, a social democrat as president, that greatness that could bring. So obviously this is just among Democrats. This is not among the entire electorate. I would love to see some general election polling between AOC and Vance, and then subsequently Harris and Vance and Shapiro, Buttigieg, whoever. That would be extremely interesting to see. But AOC, she would turn out Democrats. And it really gets back to something bigger because it really speaks to the fact that Democrats just want, someone who brings energy and will do something despite everything that negative they have been told about AOC in the corporate media. They just want, that was the problem with Kamala Harris in 2024. She lost because she didn't turn out enough people, because she didn't really stand for anything. Point being, you could replace Kamala with a million other people: Pete Buttigieg, Josh Shapiro, Gretchen Whitmer, Chris Murphy, Hakeem Jeffries, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and it would be the exact same person. When it comes to what they would do as president, it would be the exact same thing. It's so cookie cutter neoliberal. But AOC, on the other hand, she actually it's not just that she brings energy, she's different. She actually stands for something. That she believes in what she is saying, and that is a problem most neoliberal Democrats have, is the fact that people just don't buy what they're saying. They don't buy that they honestly believe this sort of stuff. That's something that Obama was able to do well, but it's something that Biden has struggled with, obviously, and that Harris especially has struggled with. A lot of people just saw her as disingenuous, and that is because she didn't stand for anything. So AOC is a new kind of Democrat, is a different kind of Democrat. Bernie set the stage in 2016 and 2020. Could AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, finish the job? That is what we are going to see. Lastly, this video is once again sponsored by Turn Left Merchandise. They sell leftist, progressive, liberal merch. I will link them, turnleftmerch.com if you want to type it in, or I will link it in the description and the comments. They have just so much anti-Trump, anti-Elon, anti-oligarchy, progressive liberal stuff. They have a bunch of different collections: anti-billionaire, anti-Elon, anti-Trump, etc. So go check them out. Check the link in my description. Um, they do some really cool work. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time.